Hello, it's the fucking Sinister Campino here with a new fucking stream. And in this fucking stream, Sony's being a bunch of fucking assholes again. Their stupid fucking streaming has to be a little fucking bitch in the last couple fucking days. It's fucking ridiculous. Their streaming can't even fucking work right. I'm on the second lowest fucking setting there even fucking is, and it goes on a black screen with a caution sign and a fucking globe. Like, who the fuck are you to be doing that, Sony? You really need to fix your damn fucking streamer. Let a fucking third party does it better than you fucking do it. Cause for all I know, this is a fucking first party feature thing, like no third parties like behind it or some shit. But anyways, prefer to fucking first part because I don't feel like fucking having to repeat myself. It's fucking ridiculous that a small fucking event week stream having to do 2 fucking parts. All because of a stupid fucking issue. In fact, this is kind of a third fucking part even. Since the first one didn't even last since the second one didn't even last a fucking minute. At all. Like, most times when that stupid fucking warning pops up, my fucking screen displays just fucking fine, maybe like a little more pixelated or something than usual. But no, it goes to a fucking black screen with 2 fucking icons on it, as I explained earlier. They really need to fix this when fucking PS5 comes out. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I was about to check in though. I was about to check out the login reward. So, talk about what the time trial, the races, and all that was on the first part of the stream. So if you want to check that portion of this event week out, go to the first part, which should have had to be the only fucking one until Sony fucked it up. Tell me a first fuck. You're telling me a company as big as fucking Sony can't fucking get streaming right on a fucking system. Honestly, I don't give a shit. I'm just taking my fucking pyro to the fucking clothing store. I'm so pissed about fucking Sony. And how dumb their fucking streaming service can be sometimes. I get it, my fucking pyro's all smoking, but I don't give a shit. Or that will allow me to check out the outfit easier. So I guess it's just an unlock still. I would have expected it to be in the manufacturer logo section. Oh, here it is. Nagasaki white hoodie. Which apparently unlocking, which apparently was originally from like the bikers update. I forget if it was like a clothing item you could get for a limited time for buying the Nightblade, because I think there was something that went on with that around when the DLC first came out. Back in October 2016. Pretty nice logos on it. Damn, my plan is pushed back apparently. But honestly, I don't really give a shit, because fucking Sony has me all fucking mad right now. Like, I don't even know if the, like, black screen, like, if I was trying to show something and it was, like, 4 minutes of the black screen, like, I should have just quit it, like, right away, because, yeah, it doesn't fix itself in adequate fucking time. Obviously, I had the slightest bit of hope. Yeah, sorry that this one's in 2 parts, but I don't know what the fuck's going on with the internet for me today. Like, GTA Online works perfectly fucking fine, so I don't know why the fuck a fucking stream can't fucking work. God, after that big fucking Sony rant, I'll have to fucking remember where the fuck I'm left off on. Now that I'm having to do this in 2 parts now. Which I don't think I've ever had to do before on a stream as simple as a fucking event week stream. I usually have to do it for like the times where I'm streaming for like a long ass time on a fucking single player game. Not this shit. But yeah, hold on a moment, I'm looking at the newswire, seeing where I'm left off. Alright, all I have to really go over is the discounts. I was going to do some RC Bandito races on stream, but now since the stupid Sony streaming bullshit has act up, I don't think so. Fucking done with this stupid system today. Done with the stupid streaming for today right now. So it does not seem like there's any property discounts for this week, just an FYI. So starting off on the Arena War website, which by the way, I think you'll see both the Izzy Classic and the Gargoyle on Severn San Andreas Super Sports. On the Severn San Andreas Super Autos or whatever. God, that's a fucking tongue-twisting ass name or some shit. But yeah, starting off with the Izzy Classic, instead of being $360,000 for a buy it now price, it's $216,000. So about $150,000 in savings. However, if you get the trade price, which you randomly unlock through the Arena War, through like the Arena War adversary mode, like stuff and whatnot, it becomes $270,000. Then you save a little more than $100,000, $108,000 in fact, and making it $162,000. Now for the Arena variant, it's not a big deal because you're not going to be saving that much. However, I do advise you do have a normal Izzy Classic because it is helpful in some circumstances, surprisingly. Just because Rockstar is involved in some pretty interesting modes where you can actually use custom versions. I believe the first one was, yeah, the first one's an adversary mode. It's not double money this week, though. However, if it's ever double money, or if you just want to randomly play it, there's, it's some kind of, I think it's called the Italian Job, or it's something based off of the Italian Job, if that's like the real life version or whatever. But yeah, there's some like adversary mode where you can use custom Izzy Classics. You'll know which one it is if it has like police cars and Izzy Classics, and then that's pretty much it for what people use when playing the mode. Can't entirely think. I think it's actually the Vespucci Job now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm pretty positive it's called the Vespucci Job. But yeah, you can use custom variants of the Izzy Classic, surprisingly, in the Vespucci Job adversary mode. So it's really worth getting a normal Izzy Classic for that specific mode. Or of course, like I said, you could convert it to an Arena War variant, but you're not going to be saving that much money. And then, of course, Izzy Classic races are 3 times money RP. So once again, it's actually worth having a normal Izzy Classic that's customized specifically for those races. Which, of course, is 3 times money RP, so if you're really wanting to do good in those races, definitely pick one up. So it's actually one of the most useful, like, normal vehicles in the game, I would say. Just because you can use custom versions of it in so many different circumstances. And then the Gargoyle. Instead of being 120,000 for buy it now, it's 72,000. So 48,000 in savings, not much, of course. And then if you have the trade price, which once again you just randomly unlock it through the Arena War, like AP system, of course, and the sponsorship stuff or whatever, it will become 90,000, and then you'll get it for 54,000. So you'll get it for like 36,000 less. Which, the Gargoyle, I would say it's actually a pretty good buy, because there's a glitch where you can make it like the best motorcycle for top speed, depending on the type of wheel you have on the back or something. Not entirely too sure how it works, but I think I have it set up on my Def Bike or whatever, which it does apparently work on that as well. And it's been in the game since Cunning Stunts, so it's kind of unlikely it's going to be patched at this point. Unless they magically care about it, because there's a weaponized variant now. So for that reason, it is a pretty good buy, and it is pretty cheap, of course. So I'd say it's kind of high priority then. Yeah, let me go back to the Arena War site, just want to show it off, but there isn't any discounts for the Arena Ready vehicles. Let me actually see the gameplay as well, so I don't know if it's possible if it can start out on a fucking blank screen. Okay, good. Alright. So the Truffati Nero, instead of being 1,440,000, I believe, is 1,008,000, I believe is how I can say it. 1,008,000. So, of course, it's a highly customizable Bugatti, of course. What's bad about that, of course? But yeah, that's probably going to be the best thing it has going for it, is it's a very customizable and upgradable to a custom variant, like Bugatti, of course, or Truffati in this game. I forget if the upgraded one or the normal one has a better, like, lap time or whatever. Some vehicles, when you upgrade them, mainly the fucking retro customs or whatever, they actually are slower than the original variant, which makes sense because you're turning it into an older vehicle technically. But I don't think it would make much of a difference on this one. I do think there is a pretty big difference actually now that I think about it. And the big difference is that one of the Neros has a dynamic spoiler like the T20, which I believe when I go over it later will be discounted. And then one of the other Neros has a non-dynamic spoiler. So the pros and cons of a dynamic spoiler is, I guess the main pro is it just looks cool and shit. How the spoiler can just randomly pop up. And then fucking the bad about a fucking dynamic spoiler is if you damage the vehicle too much, it won't work anymore until you get it repaired, which isn't good for races if your vehicle by any chance gets damaged a lot. But yeah, if you have a ton of money, then I guess the Ducati Nero could be a pretty good option.
Hello?
That might be average or above average at most
I had a great time the other night.
for like lap time and whatnot. I don't think it's top 10 material as far as I remember. Maybe in the top 20 though. I'm not sure. Of course, I've heard of Breathy 1322 if you want to know on that.
I could maybe introduce you right after our next date. I'll expect your call, baby. Talk to you soon.
Alright, that's going to be it on Benny's. Apparently there's no like upgrade prices on this count, so it's just the initial purchase of the Nero. Just an FYI. I should probably check all the websites from now on, just since I've been getting like target sales the last couple weeks. Okay, the Grotti Itali GTO from from the latest update, Arena Wars. Oh yeah, I should mention how much % off this stuff is. What's the first couple? Okay, the Izzy Classic's 40% off. The Gargoyle is also 40% off. The Nero, however, is 30% off. And the Itali GTO, that's 35% off. So instead of being 1,965,000, I think it is, you're getting like 700,000 off just about. Where it's almost 1,250,000. But yeah, Itali GTO, I don't recall if it's one of the best like sports cars in the class. It might be, but the problem with the Itali GTO is apparently the handling flags really break the vehicle. Like, it's like the worst vehicle to use on like bumps and stuff apparently. I saw Bruffy like go so flying high on this fucking vehicle, just like casually driving it around his typical circuit or whatever. So yeah, this vehicle doesn't fare well with the handling flags or whatever the hell they're called, compared to other vehicles, which may or may not be affected that much by them. So I would put the Itali GTO on a very low priority if you're going for performance. Customization, no, I'm not really sure if it's good. It's probably... Lots of sports cars aren't really that good in customization, as far as I recall, so my guess is probably not. The Dinka Jester Classic, which was originally part of the Severn San Andreas Super Sports series, according to like leakers and whatnot, the vehicle was apparently changed to add like livery support and whatnot for after hours, the update after. Instead of being, I believe, 790,000. By the way, that's just a little fun fact about the Jester Classic. It's what's meant for the update before. Instead of being 790,000, it's 513,500. So you're saving like about 300,000. Of course, it's a fucking Toyota Supra, apparently, which is one of the most iconic vehicles as far as I know. So that's something cool about it. And from what I recall, it's actually one of the top 5, maybe even the top 3 sport classic vehicles in the game. So you'll be getting yourself a really damn good sports classic vehicle. That's for sure. And aside for that, to be honest, I can't really say much more on if I think it's worth it or not, since I'm more of a weaponized vehicle person. I try going off of what I recall for certain vehicles. And by the way, the Jester Classic's also 35% off. The Flash GT, that's also going to be 35% off. So you're going to save about 600,000 from 1,675,000 to $1,088,750. So I don't remember too much on this vehicle, to be honest. But if I recall right, it's like average, or maybe even below average on the lap time at least. From what I recall, it's not such a good vehicle. Which does San Andreas Super Sports Series, which I believe was the... It might have been the first update that brought handling flags into the game. That makes vehicles worse than what they probably should be. Which is, of course, the update that infamously brought the Entity XXR, which is lower than the Entity from day one of the game. At least for a lap time. Probably top speed too, is my guess. So I would probably put it on a low to very low priority for that vehicle. The Ocelot XA21, that's 30% off. From what I recall, it's either in the top 5 or 10 in supercars. So you'll be getting yourself a really good performing supercar. And for this week, it's going to be not too far from the Wagner. Though just know the Wagner is number 1, at least in lap time. Probably not top speed. So I'll definitely rather go for a Wagner if I was anyone. And yeah, aside for that, I don't know too much personally on this. But of course I've heard of Roughy 1322 for the performance. But I'm very positive it's top 5 or top 10 for lap time. I would say a kind of interesting vehicle for this next one here is the Hijack Rustin. Instead of being 430,000, I think it is, it's 279,500. So it's not even 200,000 less. I guess it's like a little over 150,000 in savings, as far as I know. But I believe the Hijack Rustin is a fucking electric vehicle. And also the Hijack, like, manufacturer doesn't really make much vehicles in the game. So for that reason, I think it's kind of cool to have, just because it's from a vehicle manufacturer that's not, like, very represented in the game. I think the only other vehicle they really made, as far as I know, is the Chameleon from day one of the game, from, like, the collector's edition. Of course, it's the, like, Ruthless, sports car or something. I think it's a sports car for sure. But yeah, from what I recall, it doesn't perform very great. It's just a nice, cool, cheap vehicle, I would say. But obviously, when it's really cheap, you can't really complain too much about it. The Nagasaki Shotaro. Oh yeah, and the Hijack Rustin. That's 35% off, because I don't think I said. But the Nagasaki Shotaro is 40% off. And in parentheses, they specifically state you have to play around a deadline to unlock the purchase. Otherwise, I don't think you even see on your website. which I know because I have a second character that I rarely go on. And I'm pretty sure I don't have it on that character. So instead of being like a little over 2.2 mil, 2,225,000, it's 1,335,000. So I guess that's 890,000 in savings, I believe. However, I do highly recommend this Yotaro. It's #1 in its class for raceable vehicles for a lap time. I mean, it's only below the Oppressors and the Death Bike, I believe. It's literally a fucking Tron bike as well, for sure, making it very worth it in my opinion. It's like one of those futuristic vehicles you really can't have much of a problem with, of course, since it can't like grief you or anything. I would say personally. If you're one of those like futuristic vehicle haters or something. And like the coloring of the vehicle, like I guess the secondary color, I would imagine, you can make the like lighting on the vehicle very unique, which I really like. So definitely a very good buy because of its performance, especially. Might be #1 in top speed and lap time, by the way. I'm not sure. For sure, lap time for raceable vehicles. Or raceable motorcycles. The Progen Tyrus. $775,000 off, it seems, on the Progen Tyrus. I'll look for the discount. It's 30% off. I can't recall too much on this vehicle, if it's a very good performing vehicle or if it's not. At the best, I would imagine it's like top 20, but I'm not too sure. And yeah, of course, that's like liveries and whatnot. Which, by the way, before I forget, there is 30% off on all vehicle liveries. That I would include aircrafts and whatnot, I'm sure, as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about the Progen Tyrus. I can't think of much more right now. Speaking of the Progen T20, which I mentioned when I was talking about the Nero, and how that's the dynamic spoiler, it is discounted, as I thought it was. So instead of being flat out $2.2 million, it's $1,540,000. So 660,000 in savings, I'm pretty sure. I forget how good it performs still, but I would imagine within the top 20 or to top 10, I would imagine, like, I don't know, maybe it's above average in the super class, I'm not too sure, of course. Refer to Broughy 1322, or that kind of thing, of course. But yeah, the best thing about it, in my opinion, is it has a dynamic spoiler. But once again, I said, like, for racing and whatnot, a dynamic spoiler could be pretty bad, of course, because if your vehicle takes too much damage, the spoiler won't work anymore, because it pops in and out depending on your speed. It's a nice nostalgic vehicle from back in like older days of GTA Online, before like there was executives and other criminals and like the free mode event. AK was from the last update from last gen. Let me make sure I covered all of the Legendary Motorsports, because I don't know if there's something like the starter pack or whatever that's on discount, hence the money symbol on the Banshee. Okay, yeah, that's definitely it for Legendary. Once again, I'll check every, website that makes sense, just in case I have any sort of target sale. Which then I'll go over the vehicles and target sale as well. Oh, come on. I mean, to do that. Pressed X and then triangle at the same time, because I wasn't paying attention to my thumb. Alright, I have a feeling I don't have the target sale for this week. Just an FYI. But the RC Bandito is on discount for this week. And instead of being 1.5 or 1.6 mil flat, it's 1,113,000. So at the most you're saving 487,000. And if I didn't mention the T20's discount, by the way, it's 30% off. But the RC Bandito discount is 30% off as well. And RC Bandito, I don't know if it's necessarily really worth buying. I have a whole dedicated review on the vehicle, so if you want more of an opinion, you can go to my RC Bandito review. Or obviously anyone else's if that's what you want. But yeah, I'm not sure if there's really much speed upgrades from what I remember. I don't think so. Hover in free mode, you can troll around with like tryhards and shit, and my god, it's funny trying with a tryhard, trying to fucking blow it up. They probably would think that would only take one missile, but it only takes like 3 or something. You get a very limited amount of like mines as well. I think you can only choose EMP and kinetic as far as I remember, which are pretty effective. I mean, which aren't very effective on players at least. Trying to think if I meant to say something else right now. But yeah, you don't really have much to attack with besides for like an explosive. Besides for explosives, which you hold LB for a certain amount of time, similar to in the arena. And then yeah, you only get 3 mines. It's not like unlimited or whatever like with the other vehicles. Those mines, however, don't require you to don't have a trade price for the RC Bandito specifically, which is very nice. So you can just pretty much purchase them right away and you won't really be losing any money you could have saved. And aside for trolling tryhards and whatnot as being like the big purpose of the vehicle in my opinion, it can of course protect you from the orbital cannon. If you feel like you're going to get blown up by an orbital cannon, just go to the RC Bandito. And then, once you get blown up, you don't die, you just turn back to your character. So it's the best counter there technically is to the orbital cannon, I would say. Because it's not as annoying as having to call up like a Terabyte MOC or Avenger to survive a fucking orbital cannon. So it is good for protecting you from the orbital cannon. Once again, I went over to Weenie Izzy Classic on the first part of the stream, maybe, or actually it was probably this part, because I don't think I haven't gotten the discounts at all on the first part of the stream, which should have only had to be the one part I don't know, this stream is running pretty good actually, so I might delete the other one, might cover the stuff I didn't get to cover at the end of this stream. That was on the first part. I really want to keep it one part, so let me just keep this stream if I can. But yeah, the Class C Hot Ring Saber, I believe it's 830,000 normally if I'm looking at it right. I believe there might be a trade price for it. I believe you just have to do a certain number of hot ring races. I'm not too sure, or it might be deliveries I'm thinking of that you unlock by doing a certain amount of the races. But yeah, you're saving about $300,000. I believe $290,500 is my guess. I don't think there's any like headlights on it or whatever if I remember, which kinda sucks I feel, if you don't like the stealthiness of it, I guess. But hell, it's a very classic vehicle from like GTA Vice City, San Andreas, and I think like Liberty City Stories and stuff as well. For sure Vice City and San Andreas, though, I know for a fact. So I do definitely think it's pretty cool to pick up because of the nostalgia. And once again, picking one of these up will give you a big edge on the races, which I forgot to talk about it. Let's go back to RC Bandito for a moment. Is it really going to help you that much to buy one of these for a RC Bandito race? From what I recall, no. Because I don't entirely remember if there's even a speed upgrade for this at all. I know there's a jump upgrade, but the races the Rockstar created ones aren't really designed to utilize the jumping feature of the RC Bandito. So yeah, there's not much of an incentive to buy this, aside for protecting yourself from the orbital cannon and trolling tryhards, I would say. It's kind of just a nostalgic vehicle, once again, from like GTA 3, Vice City, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, even though you don't control one in San Andreas. So aside for nostalgia, the orbital cannon being a tryhard thing, it really won't help you in the races, so if you're going for it for the races, I really wouldn't recommend it too much. Unlike the Izzy Classic and the Hot Ring Saber. So all three of the big like vehicles involved in like the 3 times money RP races are thankfully discounted. Oh yeah, and there is unlockable vehicle, like unlockable liveries, if I didn't hint at that enough already. So that's another cool thing about the classic Hot Ring Sabers. There's kind of a bit to actually unlock. So there's kind of an incentive to do the Hot Ring Saber races, at least for a little bit. If I didn't mention, by the way, the, what's it called? If I didn't mention the fucking Hot Ring Saber is 35% off. Onto the Nagasaki Chimera. It's 40% off apparently, so instead of 210,000, it's under 26,000. So 84,000 in savings as far as I recall. I believe it's the only three-wheeler motorcycle in the game, so that's the one thing it has going for it. Customization, I'm not entirely too sure if it's good or not. I would imagine it kind of is, I'm not too sure. But it's only a one-seater, which kind of is weird for a motorcycle, I would think. Regardless though, it's a pretty fun looking vehicle for a very affordable price. The Costage Rift Tampa, it's over 300,000 in savings. Is it really a worthy purchase though? It's one of the only like drift worthy vehicles of the game, I would say. It's one of the best drifters in the game, I would say. And then There's a couple like fun liveries and whatnot on it. As for customization though, aside for liveries, I don't really know, because I don't own one. Because I like buying vehicles that are actually useful, not ones that just like sit in a garage for the most part. Unless you race like all the time. Oh yeah, and that's for the, what's it called? As for the gargoyle, I already covered that when going on the Arena War website. So I'll go back to that part to find out about my thoughts on the gargoyle. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the stream. I was going to do RC Bandit. Wait, shoot. That's right, I want to go over the other stuff from the first part of the stream, which should have been the first part. But because Sony streaming bullshit was a fucking bitch, of course. Like, go over the other stuff. So, of course, starting off with the title, there's 3 times money RP on certain types of races. I just put races because it actually fit in the title, because nothing much else would fit in the title. Hot Ring Circuit races, there's 10 of them, I'm pretty sure. 3 times money RP. The classic races, there's 7 of those, I think, 3 times money RP. And then RC Bandito races, 3 times money and RP. And then, as well, going into the message of Spectator, there's 2 times money and RP on Rockstar created stunt races. By the way, the stunt races, at least the normal ones, are like the top 3 ways to make RP, apparently, according to GTA Men. That's something interesting about it. So 3 times RP on certain types of stunt races might actually be very beneficial for ranking up. Probably might be the best way to rank up that there's ever been in GTA, considering it's 3 times RP, of course. For 3 different types of races, so I don't know if they're like RP works the same as normal stunt races. Regardless, there's some type of like video that GTA Men came out with like months ago or something, mentioning like the 3 best ways that are in RP. And yeah, that's it for jobs in the pause menu. As for the time trial, which by the way is 2 times money RP, and I put the S in parentheses because I'm not sure if there's going to be more than one or if it's just going to be this one. My guess is it's only down Chiliad. But the wording of the news wire was a little bit confusing to me in the like time trial section of it, so I wanted to put that in as a safe way. But of course, they made the 2 times money RP time trial down Chiliad, which is arguably the worst fucking time trial of the bunch there is. So if you can do this very challenging time trial, you'll get 2 times money RP on it. Ironically enough, the last fucking 2 times money RP time trial, I believe, was up Chiliad, which is kind of the opposite of this one. And then, yeah, I'm wearing the Nagasaki white hoodie right now, which on the last stream I went inside the clothing store, but since I'm wearing it, I'll just show it off right here. I went over our discounts, of course, which was meant for this part of the stream anyways, which shouldn't have to have been 2 parts. And yeah, so sorry if we're kind of going in reverse order there, but since the stream's like performing very well as compared to the last one, I want to keep it in one stream, so I'll be doing that. Also, there's no changes to the casino, as far as I recall when going near our last stream, so don't even check if you don't want to be like bored or something. So now just to make sure if I went over everything before I wrap up the stream. Yes, I did go over everything. I was going to do some gameplay of the RC Bandito races actually on this stream. But of course, the streaming had to be a bitch for the first part. But now it's just going to be the stream. As long as once again I check and the quality is just fine. And it is. Awesome. I just want to see if someone rated or not. Wasn't sure if someone disliked when I got a viewer. Not that one was just me, but the other one. Like 5 to 10 minutes ago. But yeah, that's probably gonna be it for the stream. Unfortunately, there was like technical difficulties on the first one for some reason. Like the worst I've ever seen in any of my streams on this channel. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't recall there being any casino like news from Rockstar on the Newswire or any sort of thing official whatsoever from Rockstar. So I'm still working on getting to Las Venturas and San Andreas. I'm like right about at the countryside. I have like one mission left. However, I'm doing 100% up until the casino section. So that's why it's going to take a bit longer. Though I might release a different casino video since it's taking so long for the next day or two. Which might start work on it tomorrow. Not sure what's going to be yet, however. Or, of course, I might do my Mammoth Thruster Jetpack review finally. Though I'm not too sure. I'm at, like, a point, once again, I've said this on other streams, that I'm kind of fresh out of ideas or whatever.
Hello? Hey man, yeah, I'm totally depressed.
Or I could, of course, do the Lester Contact Mission content episode, which could be one of the easiest ones to do. Or go back to Red Dead Redemption 2 Gold Medal guides, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to wait to see if I bring anything other than a weekly casino video I do. As of recently. Yeah, that's finally going to be it for this stream. Sorry for all the rambling there. Hope you enjoyed.